turn your engine off. Pull up the handbrake. Pull on the bonnet release lever and open the bonnet. This will allow you to see the battery, which is located to the right of the engine compartment. Open the cover of the plastic case located on the battery. Never start by disconnecting the positive terminal with all the cars still connected to the minus terminal. This risks creating dangerous sparks in the electric network of your car. Using a socket wrench and a 13mm socket, release the holding screw for the cables on the negative terminal. Once removed, ensure you distance the cable to avoid untimely reconnections which could damage the electrical network of the vehicle. Still with a socket wrench and a 30mm socket, release the holding screw on the positive terminal. Lift the plastic cover located on the lower left to access the terminal. Lift the fastening latch on the terminal to extract it. Close the cover. Then with your thumbs, unclip all the case and position it in a way that you can easily manipulate it during the following steps of the process. To remove the cover of the battery box, pull upwards to unclip it, then towards you to take it off. Using a socket wrench and a 10mm socket, loosen the ground lock and take it off. Open the plastic tabs on the flange that holds the calculator in place. This will ensure that you can take it out. With it in hand, pull upwards and slide it out of its housing. Then flip it onto the side in a way that doesn't pull on the cables, but also doesn't get in the way when placing the battery. With a socket wrench, a long extension and a 10mm socket, remove the nut. And take off the fastening plate of the battery. You can now remove the battery. Sand the inside of the terminals with sandpaper to remove the layer of white oxidation and to avoid breakdowns in the long term. On the new battery, remove the protective covers. Coat the terminals with copper grease to improve the contact between the terminals and connectors, but also to limit oxidation development. Put the new battery in place and push it firmly into its frame. Putting the battery in place can be a little tricky, so you need to stay focused. Rest assured, we have just the tip to make it that little bit easier. Take a piece of paper towel and fold it in fours. Lay it flat on the socket, then insert the head of the nut, forcing it into the socket. Magic! It holds all by itself. By only using the extension, you will be able to screw the fastening plate back in place. Delicately push it back in by lightly pressing on the battery to correctly position it. As usual, start by hand, and for the final turns to tighten the screws, insert a wrench into the extension, block it, and remove the paper towel. Put the calculator back in place, making sure to slide it onto the rails. It should be fixed and flat against the battery box. Finish by clipping the flange housing. Replace the ground log, and while fully holding it onto the terminal, screw it in with a socket wrench. Put the battery cover back on, inclining the cover forwards so that it goes in, push it downwards to lock it in place. Put the plastic box back in by sliding it towards you into its housing. Lift the plastic cover, then flip the locking cover of the terminal downwards. Open the cover, then put the first cable back in place, which should still be in place on the vehicle. Remember to correctly position the cable into the correct place indicated on the battery box. Put the second cable in place. You also have to pass it through the front guide to fix it to the connector board. Finish by tightening the screw with the help of a socket wrench. Then close the cover. Operation completed.